Hi everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to show you how when building an AI agent with n8n, you can give it access to a knowledge base. I'm going to go over how I've done it for multiple projects, and I'll show you how to set it up as well as add documents to your knowledge base. Let's dive in. So looking at our workflow here, we have a simple AI agent build. And to set up a knowledge base, we need a vector database. Now, there are many options such as Pinecone, Redis, Supabase if you set it up correctly. But what we're going to be using today is Qdrant. Now, Qdrant is a vector database tool, and awesome news is you can start completely for free for your first cluster. This n8n workflow is going to be available completely for free in the description down below. So make sure you check it out, and I'll be going over step by step on how to build this. So looking at our workflow here, it starts off with a trigger, which connects to the AI agent node. Coming to our model, we have a chat model connected, which is OpenAI. And we also have simple memory connected as well. For our tool, we have the Qdrant vector store, and connected for the vector store, the embeddings are the OpenAI embeddings. And for the ARPU parser, we also have a structured ARPU parser, as well as an edit fill set, which is where I'm just going to capture my output for this scenario. So to set this up, first thing we want to do, we want to come over to Qdrant. So that will be qdrant.tech. I'll leave all the links in the description. And here, if you don't have an account already, you just want to click on Get Started and then create an account. But for me, I already have an account, so I'm just going to log in. So here I just logged in. This is what it looks like for me. So we just want to create a cluster. Just in case it looks a bit different from you, you just want to click on the create button. But here for this, how it looks right now, we just want to come over here to this create a free cluster. And we're just going to type in a name for a cluster. I'm just going to type in n8n tutorial. And after that, we just want to click on create free cluster. So it takes about 2 minutes for everything to render and set up. And next up, we just want to go over here to where it says create API key, and we want to create an API key. So we just click on that. You want to name your API key, and you can just leave everything like this, and you just want to click on create. Awesome. So here we see our API key. So I want you to copy this and make sure you store it somewhere because we're going to be using it later on in the build. And after they show you once, you're not going to get access to it again. So make sure you copy and save somewhere. So once you've done all that, we're just going to come back to n8n, and we're just going to click on the Qdrant vector store tool. So first thing we want to do is we want to connect our credentials. So we're just going to click on this drop down over here, and we're going to click on create new credential. So that API key we copied from earlier on, we just want to paste it in this area that says API key. And for the Qdrant URL, we just want to go back to Qdrant, and we want to go to overview, and we want to copy this link here. So this endpoint like so. And we're just going to paste that back here in the Qdrant URL. And you can rename this if you want, and you just save this. Lovely. For the operation mode, we want it to be retrieve document as tool for AI agents. And for the name, we just want to give this tool a name. So for me, I have content knowledge because it's from a previous scenario I did, but you can name it whatever you want. And for the description, you just want to give a description for the AI agent to know what this tool can be used for and how it can use it. For Qdrant collection, we're just going to leave that for now. We'll come back and set that up. And for our limit, we just want to leave it at 4. So what that basically means is we're going to retrieve 4 chunks from the vector store. So let's say you have a document like this. It basically breaks that down into 4 parts and gives us 1 by 1. So you can put anything between 2 to 4, but for me in this project right now, 4 is kind of like the sweet spot, but 2 to 4 is good for any project depending on your project. And include metadata, we want to toggle that green. Lovely. Now coming down here, what this workflow basically is for is the workflow that can help us add information and documents into our vector store. So coming here, we have this edit fill set. So basically, this is where we can add the information we want to add into our knowledge base. So here we want the mode to be manual mapping, and fields to set. We just want to put knowledge underscore base, and then A, we want that to be string. And then basically here, this is the information I want to put into my knowledge base. I know it looks really complicated, but this is just one of the many ways that you can store your information. So for me in this, I'm using a JSON format, but you could also use a question answer format. So this is just basically where you give a question and then an answer, a question and an answer. Just because my previous scenario was a bit more complex, it was for an AI LinkedIn content machine. So I really needed a lot of information in there. But if you do want to put maybe in this JSON format, you can just put the title, the content, and then just give it to ChatGPT and tell it, oh, turn this into a JSON format for me that I can use for a knowledge base. But yes, but you can also use this question answer format or any other formats that you think will work well, and it will be good to go. So coming back to n8n, we have also here the Qdrant vector store. So inside here, we just want to connect with the credentials we set up before. And we want the operation mode to be insert documents. For the Qdrant collection, we're going to set this up very soon. And for the embeddings batch size, we want it to be 200. Here we also have the embeddings connected to it. And we also have this default data loader and a text splitter connected to that. And we just want to leave those at the default setting. So for this, I'm just going to change that to that question answer format so we can test it out in this scenario properly. So now let's set up our collection. So we're going to go back to Qdrant and we just want to click on this cluster UI. That takes us here to the dashboard and we're going to need our API key, which is why I told you to store it earlier. So we're going to grab that API key and we're going to paste it in here to give us access to our dashboard. So what we want to do is we want to set up our collection. So we're going to come over here to this icon, which is a console. And we want to take out all this code here. And we're just going to paste in another code. So we take all this out. And we just want to paste this in. And this code will be available in the resources. So feel free to check it out and paste it in. And we're just going to click on run right on top of here. So running this basically just creates the collection. So coming here to collections, we can see that we have created a new collection that says KB_n8n tutorial. Next steps for us would be to go back to n8n, and here we want to configure all those collections in our two vector stores. So coming to the first one over here, we want to come here and change this to be KB_n8n tutorial. Click out. And then for this one over here as well, we want to switch that as well. Perfect. And we just want to save our workflow. Awesome. So coming here, anytime we want to add information into a knowledge base, we simply have to come here to edit field set and put in that information over here. So here I've changed the information to a simple question answer. And we're just going to add a trigger on that as well. So moving this trigger over here, just connect that. And simply you want to put any information you want to upsert into the knowledge base in here. And to run that and put it into the knowledge base, you want to come here to Qdrant vector store and you simply want to execute that step. So we execute. Awesome. And as we can see, it took the direct output from the edit field set and it pushed that into our knowledge base. Coming back to Qdrant, if we refresh, we can see that that has been added. And if you just click on it, we can see the question and we can see the answer as well. So it's been added correctly. So basically, anytime you want to add any new information, you come here, you add that information, and you simply come here and run it, and it will be added into the knowledge base. All right, now let's test out our workflow. So I just want to add a chat trigger here. So just add that there. And we want to connect it here to the AI agent. And here in the AI agent, I just want to show you what our prompt looks like. So we want this to be connect chat trigger node. We want this to be like this. And I just want to switch off this require specific output formats because we don't need that anymore. And this is what our system message looks like. So you are a smart support agent. Always consult the content knowledge tool. So in your prompts, you always want to tell the AI agent to consult the tool. And yeah, this is basically what the prompt looks like. And I'm just going to delete the output parser. And I'm also going to delete this edit fill set as well. So this is what it looks like. And now let's test out our knowledge base. So coming back to the information we added into our knowledge base, it basically says, so the question is, when does first churn occur in a SaaS product? And the answer is most churn happens in the first 7 days. I'm just going to click out of that. And we're just going to click on open chat and paste in our question over here. So our question is, when do users start leaving a SaaS product? Let's see what it answers us. Look at that. We see users typically leave product within the first 7 days, and then it just adds more information to that as well. So you can always make your prompt as strict as you want, just to make sure you're getting the exact output that you want. And here, if we come to Qdrant, we can see exactly what it took out of it. So it took everything, the question, and it took the answer as well. So that works well. And just to take it a step further, you can always go back to Qdrant and change the information in your knowledge base. So here, let's go back to that. And here we have the question as this. I'm just going to make some edits. And now we're just going to say that that happens in the first 3 days and see how it performs on that as well. Just going to save that. I'm going to confirm. Lovely. So coming back to n8n, we're just going to ask the exact same question. So we're just going to save the workflow now. We're going to ask the exact same question. So we see most users start leaving the SaaS product within the first 3 days. So we can see that it does call the Qdrant vector store and take information directly from there. It doesn't say its own information, but rather bases everything based on the information it's gotten from the vector store. And that is it, how to add a custom knowledge base to your AI agents in n8n. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions at all, make sure you leave them in the comments down below. All the resources will be in the description, so make sure you check them out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.